Butter cookie crisis hook. What if a sudden, unexpected butter shortage, caused by climate swings, dairy supply disruptions, or export bans, was all it took to bring production of Danisa butter cookies to a grinding halt? No golden tins, no crisp swirl biscuits, no nostalgic holiday treat with your afternoon tea. It might sound far-fetched, but in the fragile world of global food production, even a minor dairy disruption can ripple across borders and brands, especially for a product like Danisa, where real butter isn't just an ingredient, it's the identity. With exports spanning Asia, Europe, and North America, and a devoted following of millions, Danisa has become more than a cookie. It's a premium snack icon, a staple in gift boxes, and a symbol of affordable luxury in festive seasons. But behind each buttery bite lies a volatile system. Butter prices spiking due to feed shortages and reduced milk yield, packaging delays caused by tin shortages and shipping logjams, and ingredient integrity standards that don't allow for quick substitutions, meaning if there's no butter, there's no Danisa. On today's AGRI 360X, airing at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily, we pull back the foil to explore the hidden fragility of the multi-million-dollar butter cookie industry, from dairy farms to Danish ovens to shelves around the world. Because sometimes, the flakiest products reveal the hardest truths, ancient origins, and Danisa's premium promise. The story of butter cookies begins not in factories, but in the royal kitchens of 17th century Denmark, where bakers perfected the balance of European cream butter, milled wheat, and slow baking techniques to create a treat that was as rich in texture as it was in tradition. These delicate, melt-in-your-mouth cookies weren't just snacks. They were symbols of celebration, craftsmanship, and European indulgence. Centuries later, in 1999, Danisa emerged with a bold promise: to carry that legacy forward for the modern world. By blending European-style cultured butter, finely sifted wheat flour, and a secret ratio of sweetness and salt, Danisa didn't just copy the tradition, it elevated it. The result? A crisp golden collection of cookies, each shape distinctive, each bite buttery and refined, sealed inside their now iconic royal gold tins. Today, Danisa's products are available in over 60 countries, where they've become more than a cookie, a premium gift during Lunar New Year, Tet, and Christmas, a tea-time luxury in homes from Shanghai to Stockholm, and a symbol of timeless taste in an era of disposable snacks. But delivering that promise isn't simple. True butter, premium ingredients, global scale, and now mounting risks to the entire dairy-driven model. Butter price volatility, a recipe on the edge. For a brand like Danisa, butter isn't just an ingredient, it's the soul of the product. And with real dairy butter making up as much as 25% of every cookie, any disruption in supply or pricing hits not just the cost sheet, but the brand identity itself. Globally, dairy markets are notoriously unstable. In some years, butter prices have swung by 30% or more, driven by droughts in feed-producing regions, herd reductions, export bans, and shifting consumer trends toward high-fat dairy. For Danisa's precision-crafted recipe, there is no cheap substitute. Margarine compromises texture, shortening dulls the flavor, and reformulating would break the promise of authentic Danish richness that consumers expect. That leaves the brand with a difficult choice: absorb rising costs, shrinking margins, cutting into marketing and operations, or raise retail prices, and risk alienating loyal customers who buy Danisa not just as a cookie, but as a premium tradition. In a market where perceived value is everything, even a small price jump can shift buying behavior, especially in competitive export regions like Asia, where Danisa gift tins often compete with local brands on both shelf appeal and price sensitivity. This is the tightrope premium food brands walk: maintain quality, guard perception, absorb pressure, or risk losing the very customers who made you global. Wheat flour supply, the silent risk in every cookie. Behind Danisa's buttery flavor and crisp texture lies an unsung hero: premium pastry flour. But not just any flour. Danisa requires wheat flour with precise protein and gluten specifications, finely tuned to deliver that delicate snap and melt-in-your-mouth crumble consumers expect from a royal tin. Achieving this consistency demands selectively milled soft wheats, sourced from regions like the Canadian prairies, Northern Europe, and parts of the US Midwest. But in recent years, this reliable supply has become increasingly fragile. Droughts in Saskatchewan and Manitoba have shriveled wheat heads and pushed protein levels out of spec. Late frosts in Germany and France have disrupted harvest timing, reduced quality, and triggered export restrictions. The result? A 20% drop in usable yield in some years, forcing mills to scramble, reformulate, or delay orders, sending shockwaves down to bakeries like Danisa. And because pastry flour must be milled to strict tolerances, moisture, ash content, elasticity, even minor supply disruptions can snarl production schedules, trigger cost surges, and risk batch inconsistencies. For a brand built on ingredient integrity, this poses a silent but growing threat. You can't fake flour, and you can't cut corners on gluten strength without changing everything. In a world of climate volatility, the humble wheat kernel is becoming a high-stakes player, and every cookie depends on it. Production scale versus artisanal quality. Danisa's mega bakeries churn out millions of cookies daily, but scaling up jeopardizes the precise baking time and temperature that create the signature crisp edge, and any deviation sparks consumer complaints. Dairy emissions and carbon footprint. Dairy farming contributes methane and CO2 from cattle and feed production. With rising pressure to decarbonize, Danisa must reconcile its premium butter heritage with corporate sustainability goals. Shelf life versus single-use plastics. Gold tin cans preserve freshness for months but rely on aluminum and plastic liners. As zero-waste movements grow, Danisa faces a conflict between airtight quality and eco-friendly packaging. Pandemic and logistics, COVID-time port closures, container shortages, and skyrocketing freight rates delayed cookie exports by weeks in 2021, leading to empty store shelves in key markets like Southeast Asia. Labor and automation conflict skilled bakers, fine-tune cookie molds and oven profiles, but labor shortages push Danisa toward automation. Yet fully automated lines risk losing the handcrafted nuance that defines the brand. Quality control pressures. One fill-level error or mold misalignment triggers recalls. Danisa must inspect over 10 million cookies monthly, yet manual checks can miss defects, and 100% machine vision still misclassifies 2–3% of product. Market volatility and competitive tensions. As private labels and budget brands undercut prices by 15 to 20%, Danisa must defend its premium positioning with fresh innovations, or see market share slip. Direct farmer partnerships. Danisa now contracts dairy farmers under multi-year agreements, guaranteeing fair butter prices and incentivizing regenerative pasture practices, stabilizing supply and cutting emissions by an estimated 10% per ton of butter. Precision milling and flour blends. By co-investing in regional mills equipped with near-infrared analyzers, Danisa controls protein consistency. A secret flour blend now tolerates up to 15% variation in wheat quality without altering dough performance. Hybrid manual automation lines. New assistive robots handle heavy lifting, like tin filling and stack loading, while skilled bakers oversee oven timing and decorative scoring, preserving artisanal quality at scale. Renewable energy and waste heat recovery. Danisa's flagship plant in Thailand installed solar panels and a waste heat boiler. Excess oven heat now pre-warms incoming butter and flour, slashing natural gas use by 30%. Eco-innovative packaging. Trials of recyclable bioplastic liners inside aluminum tins extend shelf life to 12 months, while enabling full curbside recycling, aligning Danisa with circular economy goals. Local micro-baking hubs. To shorten lead times, Danisa launched small artisan hubs near major markets in Vietnam and Brazil. These microplants produce fresh tin batches on demand, reducing logistics carbon by 25%. Trade tariffs and labeling new sugar import tariffs in India threatened cookie costs by 18%. Danisa responded by reformulating with domestic sweeteners and updating labels to highlight made with locally sourced ingredients, retaining shelf presence. Which innovation excites you most? Renewable energy baking, bioplastic liners, or micro-baking hubs? Comment below. From 17th century Danish recipes to next-gen sustainable bakeries, Danisa navigates soaring butter prices, supply crises, and climate pressures with bold solutions. What surprised you most about the battles behind every cookie? Drop your thoughts below, like if you learned something new, and subscribe to AGRI 360X, airing at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily, for your next deep dive into food system innovation.